And good morning for everybody that's with me live, and good whatever time of the day it is for everybody that's joining me as a video. And welcome to the Medium channel. And here we bring you the spirituality behind the message. So wanted to really talk about, because hold on, so we don't get any more pings. So what I really wanted to talk about today is about the nature of what I believe the true conspiracy is the true conspiracy is in this age where there's so many conspiracy theories and there's so much stuff that's coming up on the news and there's so much going on in the world. I mean, one of the things is that we're in an awakening process, and as we awaken in consciousness, as we grow in consciousness, we have growing pains. So as a society, we're having growing pains. But just to cut to the chase, no, I don't believe that the virus or the vaccines are the big conspiracy theories. What I believe the biggest conspiracy is of all is the perpetuated belief that we are somehow separated from who we are as a divine source. Jesus said in the Bible that the kingdom of God is within, that spirit or God is within us and within each and every one of us. So there's no separation. And personally, I think that this has been orchestrated really through the centuries. I don't think it's a coincidence, but it's a very disempowering belief to feel like you're separated from who we are as spirit or source and separated from each other. And yes, we're individual manifestations or emanations, but we are all of a divine whole. So when we start to separate from who we are as divinity, then we start to be vulnerable. We start to become controllable. And this is a key element because within the human psyche, there has been a desire to control the masses for many, many thousands of years. So people talk a lot about the New World Order or the deep state as if it's some kind of a new revelation. But in reality, this has been going on for a very long time. So that's number one. We are divine. We are part of a divine source. We are whole. We are complete. We are one with spirit. And when we own that, we are very, very powerful. So another facet of that is the belief that we are physical beings. We're not bodies. We have bodies. We're not our bodies. We're energy. And another part of that limiting belief for the conspiracy theory is that we have lack of energy, or we have lack of resources, or we don't have the power to fulfill our dreams and desires. We do. It's all part of divine source. So when we connect with divinity, and hi, Yvonne. So you're the first commenter this morning. So when we feel separated, that's when we become vulnerable. That's when we become controllable. And what we see going on in the world now is that there's a lot of misleading information. Some of it's false, some of it's exaggerated, but we find that there's an agenda of control behind everything. And there's no real secret here. It's the way it's always been, that follow the flow of money, follow the flow of power. It's corrupt. And once you're able to do that, then you have a pretty good idea of what's going on, or what's happening, and what the agenda and what the conspiracies really are. Now, I personally believe that a lot of what we hear with conspiracy theories around what's going on in the world with this issue that started in China or wherever, a lot of people really believe that those are what was it? I just lost my train of thought. It's been that kind of a morning. There's been a lot of energetic distractions. But the point being is that these, to me, are misleading and create smoke screens around what the true agenda really is. And again, we are awakening. So we're in a process of spiritual awakening now. It's a very natural thing. Hello from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Thank you for joining us. Um, so the idea is we need to really stay in our power, stay in our truth, and understand that there is this system of control that's happening in the world. And it starts by the belief that we are somehow separated from our divine power source. So when we feel connected to spirit, to source, or to God, we are connected with the greatest power in the universe. And everything that is physically in our lives, we've created from that divine power source. So we're really master creators. We're really, connected with the divine and connected with source. So another belief that stems from that is that we can't have what we desire. That either somehow that we're not worthy enough or not good enough, or whatever it is. There's a lot of programming, and the programming takes us away from who we are. As spirit takes away from our power source, it makes us vulnerable and it makes us controllable. And what's happening is that a very few percentage of people have control of all the resources, and they don't want that to change. So awakening, a mass awakening, is very bad for business in the perspective of those that control things. And again, you can look back in history, um, through centuries, maybe even millennia. I mean, just the founding fathers of this country were all part of secret societies like the Rosicrucians, sort of offshoots of the Knights Templar. There's really a lot of evidence, and I really believe that that's the true conspiracy. It's keeping us disempowered so that others can have control over us, so that they can have all the resources, that they can have all the control, and that we basically have to just kind of be servants to those that I don't want to say what's the right words, that those that control us. I can't think of a better word right now. Um, so what happened is that our very thought patterns, our beliefs are programmed into us. And a lot of what we believe are not even our beliefs. They're beliefs that are propagated through society. And and it starts at a very early age. So a lot of what we're told, and it's propagated through parents, it's propagated through the news, it's propagated through the schools or whatever, is diminishing and disempowering. And then we start to believe that we have to follow other people, or we have to fall in line and do things in a way that we're taught, rather than what we know in our hearts and what we know in our spirit is right for us. So we get pulled away from our ultimate power source, and we become vulnerable, and we become vulnerable to control. Now it's self-healing month here on my social media platforms, including YouTube. That's a big part of it, because we start to lose the ability, or we start to lose the belief that we can actually heal our bodies, because we're not our bodies. We're energy, we're spirit, we're source. We have bodies. And when we're in our power, when we're one with who we are as spirit, our health is basically, well, I'll say virtually guaranteed. I mean, things can still happen. And of course, when it's our time to die, that's when diseases happen. Or if we need to learn something. But the point being is that doctors should be a last resort, not a first inclination when something goes wrong. So again, that to me is the biggest conspiracy of all, and all the other ones kind of fall in line with that, that we are somehow not powerful, we're somehow not spirit, we're somehow not connected with source, and because of that our power is diminished and other people on the outside can control us. That's not what we want. So we are awakening now, and there's a lot of pressure being exerted against us, against our awakening, because, and like I said, I don't believe this is an accident at all. I really believe that those in charge full well know that everything is energy, and full well know that we're source and spirit and soul, and really want to inhibit our awakening process. And 10, oh Cody, you're in Central Time, that's right. So so it's up to us to really reclaim our power, reclaim our divinity. So a lot of times people feel like, well, I don't have enough energy to do this, or I don't have enough time, but when you connect with who you are, spirit or source, you're connected to unlimited energy also. So I wrote a few notes down. I just wanted to make sure I'm not forgetting anything this morning, and I think I pretty much covered the basics of that. So just to kind of sum up for this morning, just understand that you are one with spirit and source, that you are very powerful, that you can positively influence your life and your health, that you have this ability intrinsically within us. And my suggestion, and what I say very often, or what I say a lot of times, is really learn how to practice the art of presence, just the art of being, and understanding that when you start to become present, and you start that with your breath and your awareness. So when I become present, I'm not really thinking about my day or what I have to do, or what's going on in the news, or what political party is doing this. Again, I feel like those are all smoke screens to divert us from what the true agenda really is, and that's to disempower so that others can have the power over us, so that the corrupt flow of money and power can stay intact, and those forces that govern the world can stay in control. So I know I'm being a little bit repetitive, but I just want to make sure that I get my points clear this morning, and just to tell you that you are powerful, that you're not a body, you have a body, you're not emotions, you have emotions. These are your power tools and sources. And when you start to become present with your breath and feel your body and feel and be aware of everything around you, you start to lose that sense of self-identity. Like, I'm not Adam, I'm energy. I'm not a medium, I'm just energy. I'm spirit, I'm soul. I'm an individual manifestation of a divine being or a divine consciousness. And once we own that, and once we vibrate in that energy and vibrate on that level, that's when we reclaim our power. And that's when we start to find the ability to consciously create our reality, and to create things in our lives that are conducive to our spiritual growth. Money, resources is part of that, because money is a physical counterpart to spiritual abundance. We're all abundant beings, and we have an abundance of cells in our bodies. We're not our bodies, we're not physical, we are energy. And that's the conspiracy, the belief that we're not energy. But basic science proves that we are. Basic chemistry proves that the atoms that make us up are 99.99% energy. It's a tiny nucleus in an atom, and there's electrons that fire around this in over 1,000-fold the volume that the nucleus of the atom takes up. Electrons are energy, and science has shown that electrons exist in a fluctuation between wave and particle, or energy and matter. And furthermore, they also have discovered that when there's an observer of the electrons, they behave differently. And this is part of how quantum physics came to be. Once an electron microscope was invented and used, they started to understand that we actually, our consciousness can actually alter the way that the atomic subatomic particles work. So they observed that when there's no observer, and they could just I don't know exactly how they did this, to be quite honest. They could see that electrons could actually exist as energies. They can exist as energy and matter. Another good example, and this is very powerful, is Dr. Emoto's water experiments. And water is really, really amazing. And water can exist in an infinite number of molecular compounds. So the way that the molecules of water can arrange themselves are infinite. And these experiments show that through human consciousness, we can affect how the molecular configuration of water reconstructs itself. So what they did is they had people, they did various different tests with water, and having people putting positive emotions in the water, negative emotions, having different music on, having people doing different activities. And they showed a very marked tendency for those that were exhibiting, we'll say, more of the negative energy or the more chaotic energy, that the water formed very jaggedly. And when the energy was love and joy and peace, it was very smooth. Now understand, you're 70, well, molecularly I think we're over 90% water, but in terms of our properties, we're 70% water. The earth is 70% water. Water is in the air, water is in the ground, water is within us. And our consciousness can change the molecular structure of water. So our minds, our emotions, because these are our tools of our spirit, have the ability to change our reality. So this is the conspiracy, that we are powerless to affect any real change in our reality. And in order to change our lives, we have to work hard, we have to struggle, we have to strive, we have to take what's being given to us so that we can move ahead. But in reality, when we become more quantum or more spiritual in our consciousness, we can change our vibration, and that changes our reality. So it's not Newtonian physics. It's not striving through matter to create small, minute, and prolonged changes in our lives. It's going into the fields of creativity that created everything, changing our vibrations within that field of consciousness and changing our reality that way. And then we know how to act to attract. It's not like we have to do our law of attraction, like, well, I have to do this at 3:30 today. I have to do my affirmation at 4:44, and then I have to write all my emails and redo my website or whatever. I mean, Spirit may give you things that you need to do on a physical level, because we still have to act physically in a physical environment. But understand, when you start to create from the quantum, when you start to create from the source and spirit, you change your vibration, and everything is energy. When your vibration changes, the world around you starts to change. And once we all start to do that, and we start to reclaim our power and reclaim our health and reclaim our lives, that's when consciousness will start to awaken. So that's what I have for you today. So what message are you waiting for? I've been waiting for a message. Okay. I think we are. Yes, 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 yes. We considered bad. All right. Yeah. So thank you for your input, Cody. Okay. So what else? Tomorrow, I'm on. This is for my members and in the Spirit Mind family. I'm actually going to do a live video. It's I have the information, I think, in the in the description, and I'll put it in the comments also when this becomes a video. But we have a membership program. It's the Spirit Mind family. It's private, so things that may get my videos taken down on YouTube, I can actually talk about there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what the conspiracies that I believe are going on really are about, how that's affecting our health because it's self-healing month, and what we can do to offset what's going on, and what's how they're trying to program us or trying to control things in order to maintain this very fragile and tentative power structure that exists in the world, so that the very few can have almost everything while the rest of us become servitude towards those. Again, it's programming, it's beliefs. The programming is done through fear. It hijacks the emotions, and fear is a survival instinct. So again, I don't believe this is an accident. I believe that there's been a systematic process of control in the society for many hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years. And what else? Oh, on Sunday at 7, I'm going to do a live event on YouTube with Heather Istara, who does the healing, and she's going to teach us a little bit more about achieving heart and brain coherency, and how our thoughts affect our emotions, how our emotions affect our thoughts. So again, the programming is emotional in nature. It taps into our survival instincts, and when we become in a fearful survival mode, then we tend to be very controllable, and we tend to shut out anything that makes us believe that we're under some kind of threat. So these are the things that we have to understand. But it starts not, I mean, listening to myself and other teachers on YouTube or wherever is a good thing, but it really starts by developing presence. And when you become very present, in other words, being aware of your breath, your body, the space around your body, and just being in that vibration of awareness, inhale and exhale, that's when you start to tap into your own higher self. That's when you start to tap into spirit. That's when the illusion, the delusion, and the control starts to break down in your life. That's when you start to reconnect with who you are, spirit. That's when you find your power and your truth. And again, you're not your body, you're not this life. This is a very brief interlude of I don't know if interlude is the right word. A very brief moment in your cosmic history may be a better way of putting this. It's kind of like we have these water meat suits that we put on, we wear for a very short time, then we kind of take them off and go back to the spirit world, and then do it all over again, or exist in another reality. We're actually multidimensional, so there's other vibrations or other levels of reality that coexist within this. That's how I work as a medium. I become present, and when you become present, you start to perceive beyond the physical five senses, and you start to perceive different bandwidths of energy that are available to us that coexist in the physical. One of those bandwidths of energy is what we call the other side, or the spirit world, or heaven. So that's how mediumship works. We can all do this also. It's not a special gift. You see, I'm not wearing a turban, and not sitting up on a pedestal. I'm a regular human being, flawed just like the rest of you, but I'm here to be a guide, just as I've had many amazing guides help me on my journey, and they're still helping me. I'm part of this chain of energy, helping other people to do the same, and then you guys will do the same, and you'll be helping other people, and we all have a different perspective to bring to the table. And I think I'll finish up by just talking a little bit about the medicine wheel teachings, because I find it very apropos to this now. And this just popped in my mind, and I wish I said this in the beginning, but community is really, really important also. And to start to really connect with and become part of a conscious community, that's part of what my channel is about, to help create that and to help to slot in to other creators communities also. Because when like-minded people get together, then we become more powerful that way. And the part of the conspiracy, the greatest conspiracy of them all, is to divide, because when we're divided, we're disempowered. When we're united, we are more powerful. So um so anyway, what she's coming soon. Okay, I'm looking at your comments. Okay, so and I'm getting very easily distracted this morning, I have to admit. So let me just see if there's anything that we missed. So we're talking about community. What was Adam talking about before community? Just being, in your power, practicing your presence, and through that, you start to connect with higher realms. Okay, so I think we covered all of that as well. Okay. So if anybody has a quick question, I'm happy enough to answer that. Otherwise, I'm going to get moving on my day. Just email you to ask your recommended shamans. Yeah, my email is adambetweentheworlds.com. That's my business email. So it's adambetweentheworlds.com. And there's a few healers that I know about as well. Okay, thank you. And you reminded me what I wanted to finish up with, talk about the medicine wheel teachings. And this is multifaceted, but the idea is the medicine wheel is just kind of reality or energy or what we perceive. And we all start in one position on the medicine wheel, and our job in this lifetime is to traverse that wheel and to experience. So the more we experience, the more that we grow, and the more that we can add to the experience of other people. So that's part of the community part. So it's kind of like I could be sitting on one end of the medicine wheel looking in the middle, and maybe there's a feather in a circle in the middle. And then Cody could be sitting on the right, and then Yvonne could be sitting across from me, and Danielle could be on the other side. And we're looking at the center of that circle, yet we all have different vantage points. So I'm seeing maybe the front of a feather, but Cody's seeing the side of a feather, and I forgot who I put at the other end. Danielle, was it? or Yvonne is seeing the other end of the feather. So we're seeing like reality, we're seeing spirit from different vantage points. It's the same spirit, but we have different vantage points. And part of our vantage point is the programming, to be honest. Yeah, we're what is it, 95% of our thoughts are subconscious. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Subconscious is largely programmed. What we believe is largely programmed. Until we start to become present, until we start to recognize the shadows, until we start to do the work to clear. Most of what we believe is somebody else's belief that's programmed into us. However, we also come into these bodies, we come into this world, into this life with a certain spiritual perspective that we've gained either through other lifetimes or whatever it is that our life mission is. And we see spirit or the center of that circle from a different vantage point and a different viewpoint. So I might say, well, I'm seeing a very narrow kind of a red diamond, and then Cody might be on my right saying, no, that's not it. It's a red line, and there's a lot of blue around this. And then Yvonne may chime in, no, it's a green fuzzy thing. So you get where I'm going with that. So we all bring something very unique and special to the table, yet there's only one spirit, there's only one energy. There's just many infinite numbers of expressions of that energy, and therefore infinite number of perspectives. So what we want to do is be community. We don't want to like argue, because that's what they want. They want to disempower us by being dualistic in our thinking and saying, no, you're wrong because I can see it. It's right in front of me. I know this is true. And then the other person, no, I'm seeing it too, and I know it's true. And the idea is to listen, not just hear with our ears, but listen with our hearts to the other person's perspective. And when we listen to our heart, we know what to filter out. Our heart is our spirit. We know what is coming from source or truth versus what's coming from like ego or programming or whatever. And I feel like the natives had a lot to teach us, have a lot to teach us. You shouldn't put it in past tense. And this is a wonderful teaching that's kind of mirrored in a lot of different spiritual lineages and different philosophies, by the way, as well. But that's the idea, to understand that we're here to teach each other. We're here to grow together and to teach each other. So, anyways, that is what I have. And thank you for joining me this morning, and have a wonderful Friday, and stay in your power, stay present, practice, do your spiritual exercises daily. And that's what I have for you. We're awakening. We're all in this together. We're not each other's enemies. The right is not the left's enemies. The anti-vaxxers are not the vaxxers' enemy. There's a greater enemy. And if we can unite, we can overcome that. And that enemy is the false belief that we're somehow less than spirit. We are somehow disconnected from divine source of who we truly are. And thereby, others can control us because we've lost that connection to our ultimate power source. Time to regain it, and time to help others regain it also. And like I said, I don't believe it's an accident. I believe it's very orchestrated. Those that control everything know everything's energy, know that we're source and spirit. They don't want to lose the control. They know astrology. They know divine timing. They know ceremonial magic. A lot of them were Rosicrucians, Knights Templar. So they know how to manipulate matter through thought and energy. So people that are in control know this, and they are controlling us. So it's time to take back our power. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to go deeper into this on the Spirit Mind Family tomorrow at 10 in the morning, my time. It'll be available as a video. It's patreon.com/Spirit Mind Family. It's a paid membership program. It's just $5 a month for the basic level, and you get the live videos, the Q&A, you get the monthly meditation, which I did one where we teach you how to go into the quantum to create, vibrate in perfect health in the quantum, or the realm of spirit, and then bring that back into your body and your physical life. Very, very powerful. I won't go into it now, but I've healed 3 different things, that one fatal, the other 2 just incurable autoimmune stuff. Incurable by those that want to control us as standards. Nothing's real. Well, virtually nothing's incurable. I'll put it that way. I mean, there's exceptions to every rules, but the point being is that I was able to use consciousness, and then also through diet and through other means, but primarily through consciousness. I've been able to be, and I'm turning 63 in a month. So at age 63, be in the best health of my life. So anyway, I went about 15 minutes longer than I planned today. That usually happens. Obviously, I like to talk, but hopefully this is good talk for you, and this will be encouraging for you to really start to step up your spiritual practice, and to understand that you are spirit, you are divine. You're not your body, you have a body. You're not your thoughts, you have thoughts. You're not your emotions, you have emotions. And when you change, it encourages other people to change, and that's how real change is going to happen. That's how a real awakening is going to happen. All right, many blessings. Have a great day.